Good morning, North State. Preston, Donion here in the Weather Center, breaking down the conditions that led to the out-of-control wildfires blazing around the Los Angeles area. And it starts with the context. First of all, how we got here. This is a look at the percentage of normal rainfall seen across the U.S. in the past 3 months. In Northern California, a very different story than we're seeing in Southern California. Locally, we have seen 150 to 200% of normal rainfall to date since October 10th, but you move to Southern California, a very different story. Most places throughout the southern third of the state have seen less than 10% of their normal rainfall so far on the season. And that goes back to the beginning of the water year, where in LA we have seen only 0.16 inches of rain compared to the usual average of about 5 inches there. That makes that just 3% of their normal rainfall. That's all the rain they've seen since October 1st. And in Redding, we've had 22 separate days that have seen at least that much rain. And so that is the difference between Northern California and Southern California. That's how we got to this place. Then you add in the element of the Santa Ana winds surging through the foothills around Los Angeles and down into the lowlands as well. But most of these have been recorded over the foothills and mountains that surround LA and its communities. Take a look at this. Altadena, that's near Pasadena, if you're familiar, near the Rose Bowl, 90 miles an hour in the foothills just above the city streets. In the areas northeast of Malibu, in those hills there, about 2,000 feet elevation, 89-mile-an-hour gusts early this morning. You saw 75 miles an hour in the foothills north of Sylmar, and you're seeing Beverly Hills recording 50 miles an hour earlier on in the day. Now, there has been some improvement over the course of these daylight hours. It was really overnight that we saw the worst of those winds, but there are still widespread areas this morning, as I record this, about 10 a.m. Wednesday, that we're seeing a lot of places in that 35, 45, maybe 50-mile-an-hour range with winds still sustained out there. And so these were those strongest gusts, and those are behind us, but we are not out of the woods yet, and that's why you're still seeing a red flag warning across all of the Los Angeles area and many of its suburbs that continues into the early afternoon today. There's also, beneath this, a high wind warning that's in effect into the early evening, and we'll watch closely for concerns about continued wildfire spread as these gusty, dry conditions persist in the Southern California area.